everybody, I'm Dr. Sara. I am going to be showing everyone how to do a lime sulfur dip on a potentially ringworm positive cat. One of the most important things when it comes to treating ringworm, pulling cultures for ringworm, dealing with a ringworm, potentially ringworm positive animal, is putting on your PPE. So for sure, put on a gown, your gloves. Ideally, I should have my hair behind me, and then some sort of eye protection. We're going to demonstrate doing a lime sulfur dip on a cat. He doesn't actually have ringworm, so we're not going to actually put him through the whole lime sulfur dip, but this would be the squirt bottle you would use. You would need the biggest litter box you can find, and then a washcloth. So those are the three things you would need. You're going to fill up the lime sulfur at 8 ounces per gallon. This isn't a gallon, so you have to kind of do the math to get this amount, which I think is 500 mils, into the 8 ounce per gallon. But you can mix it up in a gallon jug and then pour it in here and make sure you have that right concentration of 8 ounces per gallon. The ideal is to do lukewarm water and not have, ice cold water or super hot water. This is an ideal cat because he's like, yes, please spray me. But lukewarm water helps, it just is less jarring for the cat. In terms of lime sulfur dipping, this is a dry, empty litter box. We're going to pretend this has nice lukewarm 8 ounce per gallon lime sulfur in it. You want to make sure you've got your spray nozzle on, so it should be on spray. You've got a washcloth. We're going to use this at the end for the face, the ears, the feet, that sort of thing. But ultimately, you're going to take the cat's fur, kind of push it forward, and you're going to spritz pretty close to the body. Go kind of do the same process over throughout the body and rub it in as you're going. The point of us using the squirt bottle is so, number one, it's not so traumatizing for the cat. We're not dipping it in a big sink of something that's, scary for them. And we're getting it worked into the skin. So we want to squirt as close to the skin as you can and then kind of rub it in as you go. And you want to saturate the whole cat. Do the tail. What you have when the cat's completely saturated, there's going to be some dripping into the bottom of the litter box. So when you're done, he's all saturated. So we want to get to the important parts where ringworm likes to hang out, which is the ears, the face, but we want to stay away from their eyes. So we'll take this washcloth, dip it in the bottom, which would have a bunch of drip from the lime sulfur. You can take this wet washcloth and just go along his face, along that soft spot. This is where ringworm really likes to hang out, in that soft spot on the insides of the ears. So you can bend their ears back, you can do the tops of the ears, you can do the forehead. Basically anywhere the cat touches his face when he grooms is where ringworm's going to hang out the most. So you really want to get lime sulfur, and you can keep dipping down here to just refill your rag. Come here. But ultimately, you want to push your rag and get his face covered in lime sulfur as well. It helps to have a holder. If you don't have a holder, you're going to have a little bit more of a messy job, but you can still get the job done, especially if you just use the drippings from here. One other area that you want to pay close attention to is the feet. This guy has glorious feet, but they clean their faces, so they lick here and then they rub their face, so that's where ringworm accumulates a lot, and it's one of those hidden areas that you don't really think about. It's on the inside of their foot. So any leftover, if that area isn't thoroughly saturated, take your rag and make sure you're getting that sort of area. The base of the tail as well, because they do a lot of grooming. So anywhere that face is touching is really where ringworm's going to congregate. After that, you want to put the cat straight into a kennel. If it's a tiny kitten, you can put a wormy in there, just something that you can clean or throw away in the end. That's going to provide them some warmth, but ultimately they just need to drip dry. The point is to get the lime sulfur to saturate down to their skin and have that penetrate the skin for a certain amount of time. So a note for when you've mixed up your lime sulfur, and you're going to be doing twice weekly lime sulfur dips, so you want to reuse the bottle. One of the easiest ways to save the bottle from having that crystallize, lime sulfur will kind of work its way up the nozzle, and then it'll crystallize here if it sits for any amount of time. So just take a wet washcloth or run some warm water over this nozzle, and that will clean all the debris, all the extra lime sulfur off, so you don't end up with clogged nozzle.